Welcome back, folks, to another episode of 5 Ways to Convert. In case you can't already tell by that salty smell of sea breeze, today's special guests are the Carcharadons, also known as the Space Sharks. So, let's get started. Number 1. Markings. The Carcharadons have a distinctly Polynesian influence and sport various markings across their skin and armour that wouldn't look out of place on a member of the New Zealand rugby team. Now, these designs are of course painted on rather than sculpted, so you're probably wondering why I've even brought them up in a conversion video. Well, what we need to do here is to create some smooth surfaces in which to apply these markings to later on. We need to create our canvas, which incidentally is the most pretentious thing I'll be saying today, and the best way to do this is to shave off those imperial crests. The easiest way to do this is to begin by shaving away the crest with a knife, carefully taking off smaller flakes until most of the marking has been removed. Then, you have only a little icon left on the surface. Use a file to smooth everything out to create a nice, smooth, even surface. If the loyalists among you, not you Dark Angels, can hold back those tears long enough, continue to desecrate those Imperial icons wherever they appear on your model. Number 2. Weapons. Luckily for us, the Carcharadons aren't the only fish-loving faction in Games Workshop's back catalogue. The Idoneth Deepkin of Age of Sigmar provide us with a whole wealth of fluidly curved and spiked components that are perfect for representing a Maori-inspired chapter. We'll be dipping into this deep-sea treasure trove again a couple of times in this video, but the first components to grab are the Namarti Thrall's weaponry. These guys come with a whole bunch of interesting looking blades and axes that we can trim down to suit our needs. The weapon I have here is a great axe, and I'll be trimming it down to create a vicious looking curved dagger. So begin by cutting the axe head in half with some clippers, a knife or a saw before trimming the top of the blade off to create a flat edge. Then you will need to grab one of the Space Marine hands holding a knife or similar close combat weapon and remove the blade from the handle like we did before. Then you can use this as a guide to ensure that the new blade fits to the handle. Continue to make cuts and trims to the blade where necessary. I'd recommend checking it against the handle after making a small adjustment to ensure that it still fits and sits correctly. Once you're happy, finish things off by gluing the blade to the handle to complete your Carcharadon's tuna can opener. Number 3. Armour. Okay, so quick history lesson here. Mark V, also known as Heresy armor, is technically not a true form of armor and something cobbled together from other armors with a few changes made on a case-by-case basis. This armor was quickly dropped by most chapters once the Mark VI armor started to roll out with its 3 cameras and removal of the headphone jack. However, there are still 2 groups who still make use of these ancient suits of technology, the Carcharadons and the Chaos Space Marines. Now this either makes our Sharky Boys hipsters or traitors, but I'll leave that decision to you. So to represent this vintage armor choice on your models, a good place to look is the Chaos Kit, but we need to unchaosify it before we can use it. Start by clipping away any horns or large protrusions from the helmet before using a knife or a file to smooth down any banding that the helmet may have. What you'll be left with is a suitably angry looking helmet that works as a nice nod to the older Mark V armor, as well as making our Carcharadon look like he's entered rage mode. To complement this archaic helmet, we can also raid our ever useful Mark III kits for a power pack and some shoulder pads to attach to the miniature as well. This combination of armor types not only gives your miniature a unique nature, but also helps to invoke a more brutal, utilitarian approach to armor design, something which suits the Carcharadons nicely. Number 4. Adornments. At this stage, the armour is completed, but it doesn't look very sharky. There are no spiky tooth-like spurs and not even a whiff of a fin. So let's remedy this by dipping back into our Idoneth Deepkin bits box. Once again, the Namarti Thralls provide us with some spike collars and a symbol mounted onto a pole. The first task here is to take one of the spike collars and cut away the 2 prongs with a knife, clippers, or a helpful crab friend. Once separated, you can then begin to smooth out the slightly extruded ends. We'll be placing these spiked bands around our miniature's knee pads, but you can pretty much place them wherever you see fit. So much like we did with the weapon, make small cuts and trims whilst regularly trying the part against the knee pad. This will ensure that you not only make the necessary cuts to allow the component to sit flush against the leg, but also means you're not overcutting where unnecessary. Once you're happy, bring out the glue and fix the bar in place. Do you get it? Because place is also a type of fish. No, never mind. For the symbol, we're going to be creating a bladed ridge that runs across the top of our Carcharadon's helmet. This involves cutting off a length of the symbol, roughly the same length as the helmet. You'll notice that I've left a small downward curve at one end that will serve as the anchor point. Like before, you'll want to make a series of small adjustments with a knife or file whilst trying out the fit against the helmet. Once this has been completed, you can then glue the ridge to the helmet. Number 5. Teeth. Yes, you know what time it is. It's time for dead animal bits. Carcharadons not only have an animal in their name if you call them space sharks, but they actively collect the teeth of predators. This step literally writes itself. So grab yourself some parts from what is arguably the best source of teeth components, the Space Wolf sprue. There are lots of dangly bits of the weapons you can easily trim off with a knife before cleaning up and adding to the armor with a little glue. A good alternative for these is also orc kits, and if you're looking for skulls, the ever useful skulls set remains a great source for these kind of components. And so that concludes the 5 ways you can convert your Space Marines collection into the Moana Appreciation Society known as the Carcharadons. Whilst you probably wouldn't apply every single one of these to every single one of your miniatures, you can really boost your army's theming by adding them to the odd unit leader or character. So now that the video is wrapping up and we've finished being schooled, I should probably scale back on the nautical puns. If you found the jokes were cracking you up, or if you thought they were so bad that you wanted to krill me, then please let me know in the comments below. Honestly, I'm not doing this on purpose. Please don't go and watch Salmon Else. But before I go and drown my sorrows, sorry, last one, promise. Let me just say a huge thank you to the guys who support me on Patreon. Your continued patronage really helps me with the costs of producing these videos. If you'd like to lend me a hand, I've included my Patreon page in the description below, where you can donate to me from as little as $1 a month. I also just want to say a big thank you to Bitsbox for providing me with some of the extra components used in this video. If you're looking to follow this or any of my other conversion videos, I would definitely recommend you check them out for all of your bits needs. You'll find a link to their site in the description below. And for anyone looking to chat about all things wargaming with others who enjoy my channel, I've set up a Discord server which you can find a link to in the description. So the only thing left to say is, thanks for watching and goodbye.